Look, there's no denying it. The public cloud has been a total game changer for broadcasters, right? I mean, it's the very backbone of modern media. We're talking about agility, scale, and a reach that was, well, it was basically science fiction just a decade ago. But, and this is a big but, all that power comes with a whole new set of risks.
All right, so this is the second part of our 5-part series, and today we're really digging into a super critical vulnerability. We're talking about the risks for U.S. broadcasters who've put all their eggs in the U.S. public cloud basket.
Because here's the thing, while the cloud hands all this amazing power to broadcasters, it also opens up a whole new can of worms. It gives the government a brand new kind of leverage, one that, tends to operate in the shadows, far away from public scrutiny. So what does this new power actually look like in practice? So we're going to break this down into 3 main areas: your data, the risk of disruption, and the dollars, the economic pressures of this new world.
Okay, let's get specific. We're going to walk through 4 major threats. 1, how your data can be intercepted and seized. 2, how your services can get shut down. 3, the economic and supply chain pressures you're suddenly facing. And 4, something a little more subtle but incredibly important: administrative interference.
Okay, let's start with data. This is absolutely crucial. Government agencies, maybe citing national security, can come in and demand access to, well, everything. We're not just talking about emails. We're talking about your most sensitive stuff, your source materials, your internal editorial chats, all those files from that big investigative piece you're working on. And here's the really scary part. These demands can come with a gag order. That means you're legally forbidden from telling anyone it's even happening. Just poof. Your data is gone, and you can't say a word. So you can see this isn't just some tech problem. No way. This is a direct shot at the very heart of journalism. When this happens, it just fundamentally compromises your independence and, of course, your ability to protect your sources. It's a game changer, and not in a good way. All right, next up, service disruption. And I want you to just imagine this for a second. Let's say geopolitical tensions flare up with another country. The U.S. government slaps on some new sanctions or export controls. All of a sudden, your cloud provider, the one you depend on for everything, is legally forced to just cut you off. They have to terminate your services, maybe because you serve an audience in that country or use some bit of their tech. And the kicker? This can happen with practically zero warning. And it's not just about direct interference either. Global politics can hit you right in the wallet and your day-to-day operations. Think about it. A trade dispute leads to tariffs on hardware. And guess who pays for that? You do, when your cloud provider passes the cost along. Or maybe a conflict halfway across the globe cuts off access to the minerals needed for new servers. Suddenly, you can't scale up your operations right when you need it most. It just throws a massive wrench of unpredictability into the whole system. Now this might be the most chilling risk of them all. Think about an employee at your cloud provider. Someone with the keys to the kingdom, privileged access to your systems. That person can be secretly compelled by a government order to just walk right into your environment. They could be forced to alter your security configurations, install secret monitoring software, or even disable key features. And you'd never know. It is a total, complete compromise from the inside out. So, okay, those are the risks. Pretty serious stuff. But you might be wondering how. How can the government actually do all this? Well, that brings us to the government's brand new toolbox, filled with legal and regulatory powers perfect for the cloud era.
You see, for decades, everyone kind of knew the rules of the game, right? If the government had a problem with a broadcaster, it was a public affair. It went through official channels, like an FCC license challenge. You had hearings, you had arguments, you had appeals. It was all above board, right out in the open. But the cloud operates on a totally different playing field. By moving to the cloud, broadcasters have, without really meaning to, stepped into a brand new arena. One where government control can be wielded in secret, completely bypassing all those traditional public checks and balances. Just take a look at this table. This is the new toolkit laid bare. You've got export controls. With these, the government can just block your access to the critical tech you need to stay competitive. Think AI, advanced networking, you name it. Then there are security mandates. These can force you into incredibly intrusive audits or even make you install government monitoring systems. Yikes. During a national crisis, they can use infrastructure control to literally seize the data centers your entire operation depends on. And maybe the most powerful of all, emergency orders. These can force your cloud provider to block your content or slow your streams to a crawl, and all of this can happen without ever seeing a judge or having a public hearing. So, when you put all of these pieces together, it's pretty clear we're in a completely new era of risk. The entire game has changed for media organizations.
So let's just boil this down to the key takeaways, okay? First, being dependent on the cloud creates these huge vulnerabilities that aren't about tech failures, they're about geopolitics. Second, the government has a whole new bag of tricks, secret tools they can use to control your operations. Third, and this is huge, these actions completely sidestep the public processes and appeal rights that have been the bedrock of protection for broadcasters for generations. And the result? It's a fundamental shift in the power dynamic between the government and the press.
And I want to be clear, this isn't just some small, incremental change. The source material we're looking at calls it exactly what it is, a fundamental shift. One that is, and I quote, introducing vulnerabilities that previous generations of broadcast infrastructure never confronted. Think about that. These are problems nobody had to even consider before.
And all of this really leaves us with one very big question we have to grapple with. In this new cloud era, where the very infrastructure of the news is controlled by just a handful of companies that are all subject to these new, secret government powers, who's really in control? In the end, who truly holds the keys to the news?